If there is a place that you have to imagine as unimaginably large before you can picture it in your mind, it's Alaska. It's not just a state like other states in the United States. It's a world. It's a vast land that would cover the three largest states of Texas, California, and Montana combined. But despite its size, the number of people living here is very small. What's even more surprising is that the government directly pays people to live in this state. A check every year. There is no income tax. A land steeped in natural resources. So the question of why don't more people come to live here is the center of this story. Alaska is not just big, it is colossal. The largest US state with a total area of about 665,384 square miles. Despite this massive size, less than 1 million people live here. It contains over 100,000 glaciers. 3% of Alaska is covered by glaciers. There are more active glaciers and ice fields in Alaska than in the rest of the inhabited world. More coastline than all other US states together. Vast mountains, frozen tundra, dense forest, volcanoes, rivers, and oceans. It is home to 17 tallest mountains in the United States. Alaska's Mount Denali is North America's highest mountain at 6,190 meters, that is 20,319 feet. The towering mountain ranges here are not just for show. Mountains like Denali control the climate. They block cold air. They block clouds. They make travel between the coast and the interior extremely difficult. Even in places where there are no mountains, the ground is frozen. This soil, called permafrost, remains frozen year-round. Building a house on that soil is like building a house on melting ice. When the soil melts and refreezes, houses tilt, roads break, trees grow leaning, creating what are called drunken forest. Farming is nearly impossible. Almost 1/3 of Alaska's land is in Arctic Circle. The sky imposes even greater test on this land. Alaska's climate is not just cold, it's a state of mind. In winter, temperatures in cities like Fairbanks can drop to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. In 1971, the lowest temperature recorded was minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit, that is minus 62 degrees centigrade. Storms arrive suddenly. Snowfall can isolate communities. This isn't just for a day or two, it lasts for months. But even harder than the cold is the darkness. In northern Alaska, some cities don't see the sun for more than 2 months. It is total darkness. This can have a serious impact on the human psyche. Stress, loneliness, and depression are common here. In the summer, it is the opposite. The sun doesn't set, even at midnight. Sleep is disrupted. The body clock is thrown off balance. Living here is a constant struggle with the land and the sky. Ever heard of the phrase eternal summer? Midnight sun in summer? Sun never sets. Well, in Alaska, it comes true. Huge swaths of the country are located within the Arctic Circle. So, at certain times of the year, the sun never falls below the horizon, giving some parts of the state the nickname, the land of the midnight sun. In Utqiaġvik, Alaska's northernmost city, the sun rises on May 10th and won't set until August 2nd. That's 85 straight days of sun. Because of this, you sometimes find people hiking, fishing, and gardening at all hours of the day, and locals sometimes lose track of time. In the depths of winter, the sun also never comes up, leading to months on end of pure darkness. Alaska, a land of extremes. Because of Alaska's long summer days, you can grow incredible oversized vegetables. Locals have been able to produce 35-pound broccoli, 65-pound cantaloupes, and 138-pound cabbages. Developing Alaska was never easy. Even today, most towns are not connected by roads. Supplies arrive by air, ship, or ice roads. Weather can shut down transport for days or weeks. Indigenous tribes have been using dogs and sleds for transportation and recreation in Alaska. Building roads on permafrost is a nightmare. Permafrost is soil frozen for thousands of years. When it melts, buildings sink, roads buckle, and pipelines shift. Maintenance costs are enormous. Distance and isolation remain Alaska's greatest challenge. Alaska's geography controls everything. But this land wasn't always deserted. People lived here for thousands of years. Tribes like Inupiat, Yupik, Aleut, Athabaskan, and Haida were the true inhabitants of this land. They did not try to conquer nature. They learned to live with it. They developed amazing technologies like skin-covered umiak boats for hunting in the icy seas, toggle harpoons for whaling, and snow goggles to protect their eyes from freezing sun. They understood the land like scientists. Their small, scattered communities weren't a failure. They were a wise choice for nature. Long before Alaska was American, long before it was Russian, it was neither. During the last ice age, sea levels dropped dramatically. A vast landmass emerged, Beringa, and across what is now the Bering Strait. The closest distance between mainland Russia and mainland Alaska, or present-day America, is 55 miles. Alaska's little Diomede Island in Bering Strait is less than 3 miles from Russia's Big Diomede. The international date line also passes through this Bering Strait. Crossing this international date line in the Pacific near Bering Strait makes you either gain or lose a day because you are shifting across 24 hours time zone at once. For instance, after participating in New Year's midnight celebration in Hong Kong, take a flight towards San Francisco. When the flight crosses the international date line, the date changes from 1st January to 31st December. You can have another New Year celebration in San Francisco. This land bridge connected Asia and North America. Across it walked ancient hunter-gatherers, early human settlers, the ancestors of today's Inuit, Yupik, and other indigenous peoples. These people did not migrate with maps. They followed animals. They followed survival. From Alaska, humans spread across northern Canada, Greenland, Scandinavia, and Siberia. The Arctic world was once a shared human landscape. In the 1700s, Russia looked eastward. What they saw was wealth. Sea otter fur, worth more than gold in Europe and China. Strategic access to the Pacific. Untapped history. Russian traders arrived first, then missionaries, then settlers. They established trading posts, intermarried with the local population, and introduced Russian Orthodoxy, which still survives in parts of Alaska today. But Alaska was too far from Moscow, too cold, too expensive. Russia struggled to control it. In 1867, Russia made a historic decision. Fearing British expansion from Canada and unable to defend Alaska, Russia sold it to the United States for $7.2 million, about 2 cents per acre. At the time, Americans mocked the deal. Seward's Folly, Seward's Icebergs, a frozen wasteland. History would prove otherwise. Alaska is one of the most resource-rich regions on Earth. Beneath its frozen surface lie oil and natural gas, gold, copper, zinc, jade and coal, vast fisheries, salmon, crab, halibut, timber and fresh water, rare earth minerals crucial for modern technology. Nature gave Alaska abundance, but hid it under ice, distance, and danger. Extracting these resources would shape Alaska's destiny, its economy, and its struggle between preservation and progress. Early settlers learned quickly to survive. Indigenous communities mastered hunting seals, whales, caribou, fishing in frozen rivers with more than 3,000 rivers and 3 million lakes holding 14.2% water, building insulated shelters from snow, bone, and skin, wearing layered clothing made from animal fur, storing food for endless winters. Nothing was wasted. Every part of an animal had purpose. They understood the seasons, the ice, the animals, and the sky. Grizzly bears, moose, caribou, wolves, and bald eagles are found in Alaska. Alaska is home to the largest population of bald eagles and the largest bears in the world. The bears standing up to 11 feet tall on their hind legs and weighing up to 1,500 pounds. The state fish is the king salmon. A 97-pound king salmon was caught, setting the world record in 1985. Alaska holds the northernmost, easternmost, and westernmost points in the whole United States. This knowledge allowed humans to spread across the tundra regions of Alaska, northern Canada, Siberia, Scandinavia, long before modern borders existed. Auroras occur when solar particles collide with Earth's atmosphere, guided by magnetic fields near the poles. In Alaska, the sky becomes a living canvas. Alaska has more than 130 volcanoes and is a major part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. Roads are a rare thing in Alaska. Many villages and towns have no road connection at all. In those places, the sky is the highway. Small planes are buses and cars of the people here. If a push plane does not fly, the life of that village will stop for the day. If you need medicine, you need a plane. If you need food, you need a plane. If you need a medical emergency, you need a plane for hundreds of kilometers. The result is that even a simple packet of milk or bread can cost 3 to 4 times more than in other states. Life here is a daily struggle. Most Alaskans live in the southern belt: Anchorage, Fairbanks, Juneau. Juneau is the only state capital that is inaccessible by road. These cities exist because milder climate, access to ports, transport links, economic activity. Rural Alaska is different. Many indigenous communities still fish and hunt, live off the land, maintain ancestral traditions. Modern and ancient lifestyles coexist, sometimes peacefully, sometimes uneasily. Alaska grows very little food. Short summers, frozen soil, extreme weather. Most food is imported. This means high prices, limited choices, heavy dependence on supply chains. Subsistence living is not a lifestyle choice here. It is often a necessity. If life is so hard, why do people move here? Because Alaska offers high wages, resource-based jobs, adventure, solitude, freedom, and opportunity unavailable elsewhere. Miners, engineers, fishermen, oil workers, scientists, dreamers continue to arrive. In the late 1800s, gold was discovered. Suddenly, towns exploded overnight. Railways were built. Alaska entered the global economy. Gold did not just bring wealth, it brought people, permanence, and attention. The discovery of oil at Prudhoe Bay changed everything. The Trans-Alaska Pipeline spans 800 miles, crosses mountains, rivers, and permafrost. one of the greatest engineering feats in history. To ensure long-term benefit, Alaska created the Permanent Fund. Oil profits are invested. Every resident receives an annual dividend. Thus, Alaska pays you to live there. Alaska's population includes Indigenous peoples, descendants of Russian settlers, Americans from all states, immigrants drawn by work. Cultures overlap, histories collide, and identities remain deeply tied to the land. Alaska is not just a place, it's a test of adaptation, endurance, respect for nature, balance between development and preservation. Money may bring you here, but only resilience lets you stay. Alaska is beautiful, but beauty here demands effort. It gives abundance, but only to those willing to endure. In a world growing crowded and predictable, Alaska remains wild, raw, and real, a reminder that nature still holds power.